MM as well as the mayor, Mbizeni. So I believe that they will be working from one device. I believe with social distancing also there. Yeah, but most of the people from Decathlon are are in attendance, Chairperson.
Yeah,
Che,
logged on it.
che, che.
Yes, Chief. Yes, is it Chief?
Even though this meeting is visual, this is a serious meeting of the NCOP. I don't understand. I see some of them there are wearing Kaiser Chiefs, Galaxy A70, are wearing Kaiser Chiefs t-shirts. This is a serious meeting.
Yeah, people must really take us serious. It cannot be that we are playing soccer here. We don't have time for soccer. We are busy with the lives of the people. So people must really take us serious. And if they will have to explain themselves. But let us first start with the meeting.
Chairperson, if I
Yes.
may, can I just get an indication so that I can change the names of the people on the group? I see Huawei P30. I just want to know who this person is so that I can make the change here on the screen.
Very serious because we don't want to be sabotaged. It's Galaxy A70 and Huawei P30. Can we inform who it is so that they can be named, please? So must us deal with that issue.
Yes.
So that, yeah, in the meantime, we will continue. This is a second municipality, but it's a continuation of our meeting, and we will start in the same way that we did before. This is a properly constituted meeting. So, for the benefit of the leadership of the Decathlon, you are most welcome to this gathering. And for usually what we do is to get a presentation from the AG on your municipality's audit outcomes before we continue with the discussion. And after the AG, we will ask the municipal manager or the mayor to do a presentation. You will decide how you will do division of labor. So we to do a presentation on your municipality's internal affairs, and then we take it from there. We take our discussion and our interaction from there. So as we continue with our meeting, once again, welcome back to all the members, and we will immediately give to the audit manager that is responsible for Decathlon to continue with the presentation. Just remember to introduce everyone, to introduce yourselves, because it's not a given that we know each other. I see there is Kanya B. I'm sure Kanya B will introduce herself properly. It is over to you.
Thank you, Honorable. Morning, members, honorable members. My name is Kanya Boy. I was a senior manager at Decathlon in the previous year. I will be doing the presentation.
Before you continue, I was under the impression you are from the AG's office. Are you from the AG's office? Or because you say you are senior manager at Decathlon?
No, sorry. I was the senior audit manager at Decathlon from AG.
Thank you.
Yes. I'll just switch off also my video just to save costs from our side. And then I'll try to share the presentation, and I'll start with the presentation. know if everyone can see the presentation.
Yes, we can.
The presentation is very visible. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, this is just the briefing of the audit outcomes for the Dikgatlong local municipality. If we move to, okay, slide 2 is just our reputational promise of the AG. Basically, as the Auditor General of South Africa has a mandate, has a constitutional mandate, and as a supreme audit institution of South Africa, it exists to strengthen our country's democracy by enabling oversight, accountability, and governance in the public sector through auditing, thereby building public confidence. And then on slide 3 is just to note basically our legends we're going to use. So for audit outcomes, the green is unqualified with no findings. The orange is unqualified with findings, and then the bluish one is qualified with findings, and then the purple is adverse with findings, and then the red is a disclaimer with findings. And then the arrows, if it's green, is improvement, and the orange one, it's unchanged, and then the red one facing down, it's a regression. Okay, our key message for Dikgatlong local municipality is that the controls implemented by the accounting officer were not adequate, and as a result, numerous misstatements were identified during the audit process. These misstatements are reflected in the audit opinion. What is of great concern is the reoccurrence of issues that raise to compilation of financial statements, and also new issues that were identified during the period under review. On Dikgatlong, we had
okay, ma'am. I must try and check and unmute you quickly. All right. I see. Right.
Okay. On Dikgatlong, we had also material findings on compliance, which were on the financial statements, expenditure, assets, procurement, human resource, and consequence management. And we also had issues on the IT controls. So basically, there were no improvement on IT controls from the prior year. So the IT environment, it had control weaknesses. Okay, new issues identified during the audit. All the issues identified during the audit were not new issues to the municipalities, because they were actually reoccurring, some of them they were reoccurring qualifications. And then on slide 4, we just continue with the key message. In order for management to address these issues, the root cause identified in above needs to be addressed. The following controls need to be implemented and monitored. Preventive controls should be implemented to ensure compliance with laws and regulation in SCM processes. Through reviews of the AFS before submission for audit purpose, implement controls to ensure that the asset register is maintained throughout the year, implement proper consequence management. And if we move to slide 6, these are the audit outcomes for the last 3 years. In 2016-17, the municipality was qualified, and then in 2017-18, it regressed, and then also in 18-19, it remained a disclaimer. Okay, and then slide 7. These are the financial statement qualification areas. So Dikgatlong was qualified in irregular investment property, general expenses, unspent conditional grant payable from exchange transactions, revenue from non-exchange transaction, revenue from exchange transactions, receivables from non-exchange transactions, receivable from exchange transaction, cash and cash equivalent, and property, plant, and equipment. And in this slide, we're just breaking down the qualification to a combination of a limitation and then disagreement, basically non-compliance with GRAP, with GRAP or LFMA. So in our qualification, we had a combination of limitation and disagreement due to non-compliance with GRAP on property, plant, and equipment, payables from exchange transactions, and general expenditure. And then we had limitation of scope on cash and cash equivalent. And then we had disagreements in investment property, unspent conditional grant, revenue from exchange transaction, revenue from non-exchange transaction, and on irregular expenditure. And then on slide 9, the municipality used consultants for their financial statements and also for the asset register. So the municipality used Macomodo to prepare their AFS, which cost the municipality 1.3 million. And then they also use IED consulting to compile the asset register for 986,000. The reason for using the consultants was due to lack of skill and or capacity in the municipality. And there were misstatements in those in the AFS and also in the asset register. On this slide, okay. On this slide, we're just stating also that in the financial statement, there were material adjustments that were required to be made, and also that the supporting records could not be provided for audit, which was similar to the 17-18. And then on performance reporting, on the annual report, we had material adjustments, which were done, and also we had material findings where we on usefulness of the performance indicators and targets, which also was similar to the 17-18 year. And then on the slides, we're going to talk about the performance reporting. Basically, we selected the following key development priorities: basic service and infrastructure development, and spatial, regional, and transformation. Key weaknesses we identified was the monitoring and the performance of management system to ensure that evidence is provided for measures taken to improve performance was not done. And also there were no performance was recorded on some of the indicators. Okay. On slide 12, these were all the findings we had on non-compliance with legislation, which was reported in the audit report. And then on slide 13, this was the unauthorized, irregular, as well as fruitless and wasteful expenditure. And it remained high also in the prior year. So for Decathlon, irregular expenditure for 18-19, it was 7.2 million, and then unauthorized was 43 million, and then fruitless and wasteful expenditure was 9 million, and then which was incurred during the year, but then the balances at the end of the year, it was for irregular 167 million, unauthorized 370 million, fruitless and wasteful expenditure 25 million. For irregular expenditure, we actually had a qualification for completeness of irregular expenditure. So the amount in their financial statement is actually understated. So it's not the whole amount, because that's the reason for the qualification. They did not disclose all their irregular expenditure. And then on slide 14, it's just as when we assess the assurance providers, our outcomes. So basically for MPEC, they did not provide, they provided no assurance or limited assurance. And then for internal audit and audit committee, they provided some assurance because they did some of their responsibilities they have to do. For audit committee, they did review the financial statements, and then internal audit, they did prepare some of the report for the municipality. These are okay, on slide 15, these are the root causes of the accountability failures. So we're saying that basically management do not respond within the required urgency to our message about addressing the risk and improving internal controls. And then the lack of decisive action to mitigate emerging risk, implement timely corrective measures, and address non-performance was evident by the failure of management to address the external audit findings in a timely manner. That's the end of my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Boy. And we will immediately then request the MM to present on this situation to the municipality. So before we will then go into the discussion of both the presentations. Can the mayor please introduce the team? At least this municipality do have a mayor. Can the mayor? And we will take it from there. Please deal with the budget. Please deal with the.
Okay, check. Can you hear me, check?
Can you deal with the echo that is there? So can the mayor then will give to you, Honorable Mayor?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Honorable Chair Sylvia Lucas and the NCOP team. My name is Dorothy Mbizeni, the Mayor of the Katlo Municipality. If you allow me, Chair,
it will be better if you put off the screen if we can't see you. Will we see you now? Because the video is on, but we didn't see a face. So you may continue. Okay.
Good morning, Honorable Mayor Sylvia Lucas and the NCOP team. My name is Dimakaja Dorothy Mbizeni, the Mayor of the Katlo Municipality. If you allow me, Chair, can I give over to the MM because I've got a tooth pain, please.
No problem. We just wanted to see your face, and then we are more than happy for the MM to do it. Thank you. Just everyone introduce yourselves, please.
Thank you very much, Chair. My name is Chris Mokeng, acting CFO of the Katlo Municipality.
Continue.
Good afternoon, honorable members. My name is Bakanyan Tinyani.
Chairperson, there's a sound.
It is happening because they are sitting with all the gadgets. They are sitting together. So I think they must use one gadget when they speak, or the other one should not. They should not be too close to one another.
But Chairperson, is there no possibility that they can go sit in their offices individually, so that we don't experience this thing?
There is no problem. What I'm saying is that as long as they use one, even if they sit together or wherever they sit, we cannot prescribe to them. But if all of them are using different gadgets, it will be a problem. Can we just get that solved, please? From you, MM, can you please, you may continue. Can you unmute yourself? Can you unmute? If you unmute your microphone, we might be able to hear you. Yes, now continue.
Okay, I'm the acting MM of the Katong municipality. My name is Bakanyan Tsinyane. And Chair, I would request that we share the screen with the CFO so that the presentation can be loaded.
Can Honorable Makopo introduce himself, Honorable Chair?
Chairperson, the screen sharing is on.
Okay, thank you, Chair. The presentation is about what you have indicated to us that was sent by email. So I will request that we go to the second slide. We were required to give the presentation on these issues. And I think the next slide will actually talk about the topics that are indicated here. Next slide. Chair, the Katong municipality, we have given you like our outcomes, our opinions from AG for 4 years. For 2015-16, we received a qualified audit opinion. 2016-17, it was also a qualification. Then we regressed from 2017-18 and 18-19. And I would just like to indicate that our biggest finding in this regard in the previous financial year, it was asset management. Next slide, please. An audit action plan, Chair, it was actually prepared for 2018-2019, and we submitted that to the audit committee as well as council. And we tried to address like prior issues from January 2020. Next slide. Chair, in terms of financial management, the Auditor General has actually assessed our municipality for financial viability for 2 years, and they have indicated that we are not financially viable. So that is why then we are under the financial recovery plan. And in terms of that, we are trying to put things in place. As one of the strategies, we wanted to improve that. And in terms of our targets, we have achieved, like in terms of adopting the revenue enhancement plan and cost containment strategy. We are currently implementing that. Next slide. Under financial controls, the municipality is trying to put measures in place in terms of the financial recovery plan that we were assisted by Treasury to compile, that has been monitored like in a monthly basis. We have actually reviewed and developed some of the policies, including budget policies, bank, petty cash, and the others. We are also on a monthly basis doing cash flow projections. We are also on a monthly basis, we review our municipal bank statements. We are also doing credit control and debtors reconciliation. We are putting inventory systems in place. We are currently implementing that. In terms of expenditure as well, we are monitoring that. In terms of payroll, we are trying to compare our variance, a report on a monthly basis just to check in terms of what happened previous month and current one. And municipal financial viability tests are also being done. Segregation of duties in terms of our financial system, we are doing that. In terms of our bank as well, we are doing that. And we are currently, we have been updating our asset register, and it's currently in place. Next slide. Revenue collection is one of our biggest challenge at the moment. We are currently collecting from 40% to 49%, and that is why then hence our financial recovery plan. We are not doing quite well. One of the strategies that we are advised to put in place was to ensure that on a monthly basis we do our billing, and we start with our top 100 debtors, and that we are actually prioritizing that on a monthly basis, but it still remains a challenge. Next slide. Chair, in terms of our creditors, Eskom is the biggest creditor. We actually owe them an amount of 110 million. Citibank is the second one. We owe them an amount of 14 million. Valhart, we owe Valhart an amount of 12 million rand. And with regard to Citibank Water, we have signed a repayment plan with them, and we are actually doing our best to pay on a monthly basis. And I can report that at least it's only 1 month that is outstanding, and that will be remedied. In terms of Valhart, we have also signed a repayment plan as well. In terms of Eskom, it's still a challenge, but we have sent Eskom our proposal in terms of what we can afford to pay, because the last repayment plan was actually signed in 2018, but Eskom actually was resisting to sign another one, indicating that the municipality in the past has not actually fulfilled their responsibility of paying. Chair, in terms of government departments, we are owed an amount of 18.5 million, business an amount of 14.16, household 212, and other like NGOs and crashes, it's about 332,000. Next slide. Okay. Chair, we only did unauthorized because we were just sticking to the brief, but I think the CFO is here, will be able to report on other form of expenditure like your irregular as well. Council has actually condoned unauthorized expenditure in the previous financial year that we incurred, but these were non-cash items, meaning that the depreciation or impaired assets. In this case, no loss was incurred in terms of cash. In terms of fruitless and wasteful expenditure, Council has further written this the expenditure off in a sense that what we took to them is the interest that we incurred that we are paying because we are paying late in terms of Eskom and DBSA and your bulk services as well in terms of water provision. Like I already indicated that we are trying at the stage to enter into agreement, a payment agreement with Eskom, but we have sent them our proposal. Then the usage of consultant. Chair, I just want to indicate that usage of consultants, we are under the financial recovery plan. And one of the things that has been a challenge in the Decathlon is because of the organizational structure that we had previously that was not supportive of certain functions within the municipality. So we have since reviewed that, and we are going to fill some of the positions, meaning that the previous contractor that we had for assets, it was terminated, and the one that we have for annual financial statements is ending next year. Because now internally we have a very serious challenge. We do not have anyone who's responsible and who can do asset management for us. We have actually contracted a consultant to assist us in that regard. But we have already held interviewed. Treasury was assisted us in sitting during job interviews for the position of asset. And after we have actually vetted the recommended candidate, we will definitely appoint before the end of the next quarter. Next slide, CFO. Chair, we are giving you conditional grant spending as at the end of June 2020. In terms of MFMG grant, we spent 100%, library grant 100%, CETA 100, WSIG 100, EPWP 100. And Chair, this year funds were transferred, big funds were transferred into our banking account, our bank account, and we were requested to reprioritize all the MIC funding for COVID projects, which MIC has appraised. And at the later stage, they indicated to us the end of May that we can continue with that. Hence, in that regard, you see the 79% expenditure there, because we had actually limited period actually to spend the funding. In terms of INAP, Chair, it was a challenge in terms of that. We have only spent 11%, but we were in discussion with, we are currently in discussion with the Department of Energy, and they have indicated that we can actually use the funds in the current financial year. Next slide. Chair, financial recovery plan, it was very difficult to actually report on this because it's quite a huge plan, it's a huge strategy that has targets of about 270, and we are trying our best actually to address certain things. But as well, we will indicate the challenges as well in terms of the financial recovery plan. Just note that the National Treasury has actually assisted us in compiling the financial recovery plan, and we have tried to align our SDBIP to the FRP, and we are taking the report to council so that they also monitor it. And we also suggested that each and every Section 79 committee should actually serve the report in their committee, and the chairpersons of those committees report to council so that they can have oversight in that regard. So, Chair, those are the 5 strategies that I have indicated, that we have indicated there, that we are trying to put measures in place in terms of different focus areas. The first strategy, Chair, will actually deal with issues of organizational realignment, human resource, governance, including systems of delegations. Meaning that in one of the targets that were there was to ensure that we make sure that in terms of council meetings, we have a schedule that we actually stick to. Council resolutions are monitored on a quarterly basis, and they are being submitted to council where recommendations are being made, and the mayor could note certain things and talk to different chairpersons and the municipal manager. We have also we have approved a delegation of authority. It was one of the things that was noted that is lacking in terms of that, including the rules of order, to say that they were very old and they were approved by council. Policies have been developed. The financial recovery plan, it's very precise, meaning that each and every department has policies has been identified that needs to be reviewed and developed. And we have another challenge because some of the issues that are there, they require that we have like constant consultation with labor, because they do have certain fears as well that has to be alleviated, especially when coming to the issues of organizational structure, the issues of placement policy. It was one of the targets. It currently has not been achieved, but it went to the LLF and they have previously recommended that we take it to council. So it's part of the things that we are currently doing. And AG has indicated, yes, that in terms of performance, and one of the things that they indicated as well in the last financial year was to say that there was no cascading of performance, PMS at the level below senior managers. So for this financial year, and actually for the last financial year, the employees are reporting directly to directors that have actually signed the performance agreements. Next slide. Chair, under financial viability and budgeting structuring, we have adopted the budget and revenue enhancement plan that take into cognizance that tariffs have to be sensitive or has to be aligned with the cost implications of rendering municipal services. And compilation of budget and budget adjustment, they have also been approved by council. We have aligned our budget to the IDP, the SDBIP as well. Budget-related policies were also approved. Capturing of budget has been done on the financial system regularly. Strategy 3, one of the actions in the financial recovery plan was actually to enhance cash flow, and we have currently done data cleansing, and we are monitoring it on a monthly basis. We are reviewing on a monthly basis as well, meter reading, and we approved the credit control policy. Auditing of meters, we have actually done that with the assistance of Francis Bart District Municipality. Like I've already indicated that we have signed repayments agreements with Citibank and Falt Hearts, and ESCOM actually still remaining a challenge, despite the fact that we have sent them the repayment proposal. Next slide. Chair, under infrastructure and service delivery, in terms of the financial recovery plan, we have identified that there are certain critical positions that needed to be filled. And since we have revised our structure to include that, we have actually advertised for them, and we hope that in the next, before the end of this quarter, that would have been finalized. Currently, we are only filling critical positions. We have not filled any positions for the previous 2 financial years. So skills development for technical staff has also commenced, and the LG SITA has actually assisted us a lot, and they have approved a couple of programs for employees in water treatment plants and electrical section. And formalizing of landfill sites, it's currently been achieved, that particular target. And we have 2 master plans that have been developed as well. But what is still outstanding is the development of maintenance plans. Currently, we have started with installation of meters in terms of this particular strategy number 4. Chair, it has been very challenging to deal with the financial recovery plan, but I just want to indicate that we have 278 targets that we set in terms of the financial recovery plan. We achieved 140, meaning that it's 50%. So in terms of organizational realignment, the targets that were set, it was 124. We have achieved 78, meaning that is 63% achievement in that. But you must remember that that is a non-financial targets. So in a way, it's a strategy that you need to do, and you don't have to spend any resources with regard to that. Financial viability and budget structuring, the target that was set, it was 28. We achieved 15. And in terms of percentage, it is 53%. Revenue enhancement, 58%. The target that, it's 58 targets that were set. The targets achieved, it's 17, and we are at 29%. Infrastructure and service delivery, 18 targets were set, 4 was achieved, and it's 22 that is not achieved. Improvement of financial sustainability, 50 targets were set, 26 was achieved, and 52% was achieved. Chair, we are honest about issues. We have difficulties, but we'll indicate in the next slide what are the challenges. Chair, in terms of the challenges, internally, we do not have capacity to implement some of the activities in the financial recovery plan. And sometimes we had to ask for assistance from other departments and from the district municipality. And in some other instances, COP has also helped us in some of the things like training employees, for example, in skills, HR employees in skills audit. And I think that very soon we'll be able to achieve that. And remember that the previous slide that I showed, it's only targets that are 100% completed, meaning that others are sitting at 20%, at 30%, at 50%. So I've already indicated that for strategy number 1, okay, there are also issues with regard to that. In terms of the IDP, Chair, the council has actually approved the IDP, and due to COVID-19, we couldn't, like in normal circumstances, go to our communities and do the consultation. We only did consult our ward committees. We aligned our SDP with the IDP, and the mayor has approved that and taken for council for cognizance. All senior managers have signed performance agreements, and we cascaded that to levels directly reporting to directors. And we are also doing consultation with organized labor as well. Chair, here we are requested also only to give the condition of the road, of the infrastructure. And you are indicating that generally the state of the roads are satisfactory. They are not above standard, they're just satisfactory, and we are doing our best to do maintenance on a frequent basis. Water treatment plants and water infrastructure. We have 2 water treatment plants, the one in Batley and the one in Windsorton. Both plants are operational within the Windsorton plants. And within the Windsorton plant, the Windsorton plant actually was supposed to have been upgraded, and we have actually made, we will actually continue with that once the funding has been approved by the Department of Water Affairs and Sanitation. We have actually given them the cost implications of finishing the project. And generally the water infrastructure has aged, and we are doing our best also that the turnaround time for fixing best pipes or any kind of problems should be 1 day or 2. And also illegal connections are actually hampering our infrastructure. Chair, under wastewater treatment plant and sewer treatment plant, the municipality has 3 water plants: Batley, West, Windsorton, and Delports. The Batley West plant has recently been refurbished. The Delport oxidation facility is not in a good condition, but the municipality will be submitting an application for funding to address the sewer infrastructure. Construction of the new oxidation plant had a challenge in a sense that when they approved the fund, it was not 100% funded, meaning that there was a co-funding that the municipality needed to actually give. And we are currently also with MIC just to indicate to us that the reconciliation, what was paid to the service provider, but also that we had a meeting with Francis Bart to address the issues of core funding. Electricity, the general electrical infrastructure is old and needs upgrading. The illegal connections also play a role in putting strain on the infrastructure. Regular maintenance is undertaken. The municipality will be applying for funding for the upgrading of the infrastructure. The municipality is monitoring illegal connection through purchasing of electricity. And also the municipality has assistance through the Department of Energy to implement some of the households. Currently we have 2 projects that are going to run. The other one in Santon, informal settlement, and the other one in Savendelan. And libraries, it's the responsibility of provincial government. We are actually providing that service on an agency basis. We received the the library grant, and it's actually not enough to do the issues of maintenance. And we are saying that the condition of libraries, they are actually satisfactory in a sense that we have one library that is spectacular, that is very well structured, but in one township we have the one that is very old that actually need maintenance. But now the Department of Sports then will have to increase then the grant if we have to maintain them. Then parks and sporting facilities, that now in terms of this particular infrastructure is not in a very good condition, and facilities are sometimes vandalized, and no proper maintenance is actually being done. But the municipality has applied to the Department of Sports so that they can actually finance the sports complex. And we hope that they will actually approve the funding in that particular regard. Public amenities, which is halls, the general state of the municipal halls is in a very poor condition. The facilities are damaged and vandalized. The municipality now is planning to use the O&M funds to do some of the halls. And we have actually also budgeted to ensure that we have security as well in some of these public places and facilities. I'm not quite sure if I should be presenting the slide, but the state of political leadership, the municipality has 13 councillors and eight councillors from the ANC, 2 from DA, 2 from EFF, and 1 independent councillor. And all council meetings are sitting as per schedule, including Section 79 committees. I think maybe the mayor will elaborate on that, but we don't know about the political instability currently. And Chair, this is a very important slide for me as well personally. The post of the municipal manager has been vacant since the 1st of February 2020. The municipal manager tendered his resignation the end of December, and he served his notice from the 1st of January to the 31st, 1 month notice. And the position was previously advertised, and unfortunately we were at level 5 lockdown, and we couldn't actually fill the position, but the position will be re-advertised. The Chief Financial Officer, the position is actually filled, but we have a challenge internally. The employee has been placed on special leave by council, and since October 2018. And we have an acting CFO that was appointed internally in that particular post. Corporate Services, Chair, I am currently the Corporate Services Director. I'm acting as an MM. I'm the only senior manager. And that particular position, yes, of course, it's filled. And Community Services, this is a vacant position. It was actually created after the organizational structure was reviewed. And we have not budgeted for this particular post in this current financial year. And in terms of the Technical Services Director, it's the same issue as the CFO. The Technical Director was placed on special leave, and currently a secondment was requested from Francis Bart District Municipality. So chair is actually a challenge in terms of top management. This is something that we need to look into. Operational and administrative capacity. I think I've already indicated that the previous structure was not supportive of the core functions of the municipality, including supportive functions as well. So we have followed a recruitment process with regard to budget, unit, position there, supply chain as well, asset management as well, and Treasury has assisted on asset management and SCM. And as soon as vetting is done, there will be progress in that particular. ICT as well, the previous structure didn't have that particular function, and we have commenced with recruitment, we have advertised, but nothing at this stage has been done, and we will fill the position in due course, including the other one for town planning as well. We will request our sister department, our sister municipality, the district municipality and Salga, to come and assist in getting a competent person in that particular position. We have also identified 2 positions in technical department that will be filled. They are advertised. These positions are the positions that were identified in the financial recovery plan. Next slide. Chair, we were also requested to do a report on the intervention of Section 139. What we could report is to say that there's no intervention at this stage. In terms of political infighting, we normally have robust debates in council and disagreements, but necessarily we don't have a political infighting so far. So, but I think the mayor will be here to clarify the issues that will be posed or the questions that will be posed. Next slide. Operational constraints impacting on service delivery. Chair, the following factors actually impact on service delivery: lack of qualified staff, instability at top management. Currently, I'm acting MM and I'm also corporate services. And also that you are having a director who has left and you have a new director as well. So we just wanted here to highlight that it is a challenge that needs to be addressed. Internal capacity to adequately address like capital project. These are some of the functions that are not catered for in terms of the internally. So we do have a challenge in that particular function. Inadequate capacity at supply chain management, that is soon to be corrected. That is why AG has raised certain issues in terms of irregular, fruitless, and wasteful expenditure. But we are quite confident that as soon as we have competent people, some of the issues will be addressed. Service delivery project, during the past 2 years, there has not been any protests. The last protest that we had, it was in October or September 2018. That was the last protest that we had in terms of service delivery. Chair, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nyanye. Honorable members, there is the presentation is from Decathlon, but also the presentation is from the AG. I think I'm going to just change the format a little bit and request whether water and sanitation have got anything that they want to inform us about Decathlon, so that we can conclude all the presentations. I remember there was in 2018 most of the issues was around the water and the issues of the sewerage, the sewerage and the water was the biggest challenges that was experienced there. Before we come to the members, I'm requesting that water and sanitation if there is anything that they want to add or brief us about the water and sanitation, situation of the municipality. Mr. Falyun,
Thank
if
you.
you have nothing, you can say so, but if there is something, you can brief us.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just to give you a little bit background, in I think 2 financial years, we gave them about 7 million rand for refurbishment of the sewer pump stations in Barkley West, and to build a water pipeline from the reservoir to one of those areas where they are currently building houses. That was also stated in the presentation. Then, Chairperson, there's approximately about 2,500 households without water in the Klagong, and about 4,000 households without proper sanitation. Now, in this current financial year, we have started with the sanitation project, which we will look into building dry sanitation toilets for the households. The 7,500 will be enough to build about 800 dry sanitation units, and then after next financial year, they will receive 10 million rand to continue with that project. I know they have also mentioned they have a lot of bulk challenges, mainly in Barkley West and in Winsterton. The Winsterton Wolpan bulk water project funded from the Regional Bulk Infrastructure Grant. We are just still awaiting the approval for the budget maintenance of that project. We are committed, we are positive that we will get funding to continue with that particular project in the next financial year from the start of April next financial year. Then I know there is bulk challenges in Barkley West. I know they have submitted some business plan for us for drilling of boreholes to supply bulk water to the town. But otherwise, I think that is what I can say. But from our side, we are committed with funding for next financial year to address some of the bulk challenges in that municipality. Then within the COVID, we have delivered about 51 JoJo tents in about 7 towns or 7 settlements in the Klagong, and the municipality is planning to connect those things to make it more sustainable with the MIG funds. And I want to thank the municipality for doing so. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Falyun. We will now go to the engagement with the presentations. So we will request the honorable members to indicate on the raise your hand function with regards to the engagement. Is Honorable Makause.
Chairperson, thank you very much. Chair, we note generally the instability in this municipality by the way the municipality is operating. And although they don't want to mention political instability, through their presentation, we can sense that there's also political instability in this municipality. Can we be told why is the CFO and the technical services placed under special leave? These are very critical positions that you cannot just take a decision as a council, and then when the Council of Provinces comes looking for answers, you can't tell us why these people were placed on special leave. This municipality also, Chairperson, uses a service of consultants for over 3 years just to compile financials and asset management. Is there no way that they can try and save funds by employing people for this particular Services Chairperson. 3 years is a very long time that you can actually use consultants, given the fact that the size of the municipality as well does not actually allow you to spend such monies on consultants. And again, what are these consultants bringing to the municipality which is positive, which we can say at the end of maybe 3-4 years after using these consultants, you'll be able to point out that yes, indeed, we benefited from them. Chairperson, this municipality requires attention in relations to financial management and management in general. There's lack of discipline in terms of management of this municipality. You can see how people are resigning, people are placed on special leave, and even service delivery in general in that municipality. So it really needs attention. The highest expenditure, Chairperson, is under the municipal infrastructure grant, which stands at about 68%. This is unacceptable, Chairperson. Given the lower spending that was reported under the expanded public works program, can we also be told how did they get to this point, Chairperson? I'll pause here for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Moima.
Let me also take this opportunity to express my appreciation from the presentation that we have received from the AG, then the team led by the mayor, and the Department of Water Affairs. Look, I appreciate the relationship between the district municipality and the local municipality, particularly around those key oversight bodies. One, the Risk Management Committee, the Internal Audit Unit, and the Audit Committee. Clearly, you can see that the team is working together. But of course, my challenge relates to the number of acting positions in the municipality. It looks like there's a challenge between the interface between the political leadership of the municipality and the administrative leadership. The fact that you have the municipal manager resigning in February, you have from the presentation by the acting MM, the CFO was placed on special leave in 2018. We're in 2020, moving towards 2021. It looks like the technical manager is the same. So de facto, we only have the corporate service manager. I want to believe that the term of the council is coming to an end next year after local government election. And it will be important to get a sense in terms of the commitment from the political leadership in terms of putting this special leave to its final conclusion. And that must happen is either there has to be an interaction between the mayor and those managers, because it is politically not correct for somebody to be sitting at home earning salaries, not doing anything. It means there is a challenge that has to be addressed. And the best way, if there cannot be a process of engagement to resolve this matter through political engagement by the mayor and these managers, then the next level will be the issue of either taking them through the disciplinary process. How far are you with the disciplinary process, if there is any, if it has started? Mayor, if the mayor can just give us a sense and take us into confidence in terms of the DC process around those two managers, the technical manager and the CFO. And maybe probably we could just get a sense, just take us into confidence in terms of what necessitated their suspension. Just, we're not saying that you must give us detailed information in terms of the nuts and bolts of those charges, but just a sense as to why were they placed on special leave, but two, why did the municipal manager resign? Just those issues that I think that the mayor as the political head of the institution, if he can take us into confidence. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Moimang. Honorable Christians.
Thank you, Chairperson. I just want to start off by saying I agree that there's definitely instability in the municipality itself, and that the controls are definitely not adequate as is. I'm particularly concerned about the reoccurrence of issues found in the Auditor General's presentation, and also new issues found. So one of the root causes that from the Auditor General's office was that management does not respond, and that there is a lack of decisive action from the municipality side. So my question to the acting municipal manager, as well as the other top management staff, is what decisive action will be taken in this financial year and the next one to see to it that the same, when we come back again with the next oversight, that we don't see a reoccurrence of the same issues, and that they can actually start working on these issues, and that we don't see the same disclaimers as previously. Then I would like to come to the spending. Now, it was reported to us that 100% of the grants were spent. Now, again, it's good and well for municipality to spend 100% of grants and 90% of grants. But according to my observation in Berkeley West, the infrastructure is collapsing. It was told to us now that 2,500 households are without sanitation, and only 800 will be able to be fixed in the coming few months. So roads are not maintained in Berkeley West, yet 100% of the grant was spent. But it's been years now that there's almost a total collapse of maintenance in roads that have not been, potholes have not been filled in years. I'm not even speaking about the sewage in the town of Berkeley West. If you drive behind the town in Berkeley West, you can hardly drive there anymore because the sewage is running. I mean, it's a horrible issue between in the city center, behind the shops, and in between the people's homes there. So that sewage issue has also been there for years now, and we've seen absolutely no repairs. Yet they've indicated to us now that they have been working on it, but we don't see any improvement. And then I want to agree with what the other members have said about it. It's of particular concern that the key positions are not filled. The municipal manager position is still vacant. And I would also like to know about the CFO as well as the technical services director that have both been placed on special leave. What are the reasons, and is there any way that this matter can be hastened so that either new appointments can be made or the problem can be resolved? I mean, I think it's necessary that we appoint qualified people so that we can stop bringing in consultants, because they are obviously also not doing what they are supposed to do. My last question, and this is a question that the community has actually asked me to ask from the municipality, and that is about the housing situation in buffer zone. Now, apparently, the community has written a letter to me, and they have said that there have been 220 homes, or there's a beneficiary list. Apologies for that, everyone.
Ja, jy sê jy kut betlip slap.
Apologies for that, everyone. Apparently, there's a beneficiary list of 220 beneficiaries of homes. But the community there are up in arms because although they have been indicated they are on a beneficiary list, the municipality refuses to make known the beneficiary list to them. And in the meantime, that people who have been identified to be on the beneficiary list in buffer zone have been allocated homes in another area. So I would like to ask the municipality to take us in confidence and make the beneficiary list available to us so that we can clarify the matter, because apparently it is a matter that has been outstanding for years now, that people have been waiting to see where they are placed. Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Bartlett.
Thank you, Chair. The other question was covered by the previous speaker, Chair. For me, it's just to find out about the infrastructure and what about the infrastructure plans. Winterton and Backwest, when will it be done? Do they have a D-date for that? I know it's not easy, but I think they do have strategies in place. And then the other issue was just about the recruitment stage that they spoke about. When will they start on that? They started that already. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, honorable members. Just few questions that I want to ask. I will not ask the ones that have been already asked by the people before me. The Auditor General, I will also not ask about the issue of the relationship. That is something that I used to ask because managers in place, it's only the corporate services. The technical manager and the CFO has been put on special leave for the issue of that is what I think, that there was this issue of the school that could not open because of there was a big so the road was closed down and all of that because of that specific issue. And after that, the CFO and the technical manager was suspended. That is the problem of the sewerage. Question that I explain. And also in terms of the filling of all the, what I want to ask is the afforded site. Why is it that we are not using the shared services that is available from the site of the district, of the irregular expenditure, but from the side of the council? What is the consequence management that is in place with regards to issues not even fully disclosed? It was adequately covered by the members, but I just want to express concern about the water. Do they have electricity? But what about electricity? Is there employ engineering consultant, or why do you want for the issue of the infrastructure repair? Why do you want to bring in an engineering consultant whilst currently the district municipality is assisting with a technical capacity? I'm satisfied that the members have, is that if we really are so much in love with consultants, it is time that we draft an agreement with that consultants to the effect that we have measurable, not saying that they skills transfer. Let us bring it to a point where we will have measurable internal capacity that will be built if we have to appoint the AG. If there is any, you can respond, and then we will municipality to respond to the issues that have been raised. Mr. Mayor Boy.
Thank you, Honorable. From our side, there's no other issues we would like to raise.
Now, overcame me. Thank you, Ms. Boy, Mr. Faliun. Anything that you think you specific, there is specific issues that came to you?
Then, I think a few years ago we gave them 2 pump stations in Barkly West. I think the greatest problem now in Barkly West is people or network in Barkly West. I think that is, but I think the municipality can also add to that. That then the whole pan with from our acting DG on the budget maintenance of Winterton and Holpan. Hopefully, we will in next financial year.
Talk about the co-municipalities. So I just want to understand, is the issue of co-funding still such an issue? Or is there some kind of, if you don't know, it's fine. If it is because it's not in your perfect, but I just want to understand whether the issue, because I see it here that there is an issue of co-funding, and I remember that we had a serious discussion around it because it is hampering smaller municipalities to be able to access the services if they must have co-funding. So with regards to that specific project, what is the issue around the co-funding?
Chairperson, thank you. I don't think I can speak to the MIG project. I think the Holpan project, I don't think there is a problem there. It's only the budget maintenance that the approval of the budget maintenance that is.
Thank you, Mr. Falun.
Thanks, Honorable Chair. The MEC had indicated that the municipality has underspent or spending very low on the the lack of capacity do not report appropriately to us on the MIC infrastructure system. So we're supporting the municipality with respect to that so that they're able to link whatever performance they do on site and onto the system so that our figures should balance. Then the second part, Chair, to the state of financial affairs prompted us to have a discretionary financial intervention, which is the financial recovery plan. And the chairperson correctly so, it really looks like an ambitious plan, but an FRP is an ideal plan to ensure that municipality becomes an ideal municipality. If we fail, Chair, to implement the FRP, it has a potential to force the municipality to ensure that the members have correctly said with financial problems. So the FRP is we should not allow it to fall into the financial recovery plan. Chair, the municipality has raised an issue which Pokwan has also raised about libraries and the lack of funding for libraries. At a point, I think towards tomorrow when a final close up and debriefing is done, consideration should be made on how to engage the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture to complete parties are going to be found wanting with respect to the fruitless and wasteful expenditures for funding employees that they do not have on security to secure their assets, the water treatment plants and the pump stations. That is a very costly exercise to the communities and ensure that a high level of anger and vandalism of government assets, which are causing municipalities to spend on areas where they would not have been required to spend. Pokwana, for example, as they've indicated, they're also on the same measure. If they put security for 24 hours on their expenditure on personnel, we're not even there. We don't do that, Chair, when we want them in the report in this regard. Thanks so much, Chair.
I just wonder so that we can go to others that want to make inputs, but now we are going to give to the municipality.
Okay, Chair. The mayor to respond to the issue of the. Okay, with regard to the migrant, we reported as at 30 June 2020. That is our report. And EPWP, we have spent 100%. We also reported up to 30 June 2020. So I'm not sure the other reports that we did not spend. So I just wanted to indicate that that is how we reported. And in terms of positions, I think I already indicated that it is a challenge, yes. to implement the financial recovery plan in terms of because of internal capacity, but also indicated that for the previous 2 financial years, we did not fill any positions because people have left, people have are deceased, and we are saying that we identified critical positions that we are going to fill, even in terms of technical services. We indicated the position of a technician and artisan. So we are actually prioritizing with regard to that. The issue of buffer zone, I thought that Coxter would have actually responded with regard to that because they have actually appointed a contractor to deal with that, and the report that we got is they will start in the next financial year. So I'm going to request my CFO as well to respond to issues of irregular expenditure. Through you, Chair.
Sorry, can we see the CFO or the person that is responding, please?
Can you see the chat?
Speak, but you can speak, but take away the feedback. So it means the other gadget must be off. So yeah, you can respond. It's fine if I don't see you, as long as I hear you. Same as if you are not on the video. Who is responding now? Metsinyane, who is responding now?
Chris Mokeng, the acting CFO. Chris Mokeng is the acting CFO, Chair.
Let him continue to respond, please.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. My apologies for that. Chair, with regard to the report that was presented by the AG and with regard to irregular, unauthorized, and fruitless and wasteful, I must be honest with you. The committee that is chaired by Councillor Mafopololo of MPEC did a wonderful job during the last financial year, where they were part of the investigating team to investigate unauthorized, fruitless, and wasteful expenditure. With regard to unauthorized and fruitless and wasteful, they then tabled a report after the investigation to Council. Yes, indeed, that particular report was not part of the report of the AG because the AG was auditing the previous financial year, but their report will be part of the report that will be part of the EFS for this financial year.
Can the draft check the gadgets?
The feedback is coming from the person that is sitting next to you that is making it for you impossible. So you may continue, but that person must really give you the opportunity to respond.
Okay. So the committee of MPEC, what they then did was that they went as far as the inception of all of the irregular, unauthorized, and they then were able to do quite a number of years, but they have not finished their task yet. So they are continuing through the wonderful chairperson, Councillor Mafofololo, with their reports. But I'm quite certain that when the AG comes now in the month of November, they will get the full report of the work that they have done. And I'm quite certain that it will change the face of the reports around unauthorized and fruitless and wasteful expenditure. Chair, you are quite correct by stating that the concern of the usage of consultants. And I'm going to just mention the ones that are within the finance department, which is consultants for assets and consultants for financial statements. Yes, for assets, the previous person that was there resigned, and which is about 2 years ago, and applied to and was actually absorbed by Public Works. And the person that was again one of our officials that was at budget then was then appointed at Tembelite as one of the CFOs there. So in terms of internal capacity within, there were some few people that were offered even better position outside there. So we did not have adequate staff and adequate capacity to do our own internally, our assets, and also to do, number two, the issue of AFS. However, the aim is that with the consultants that are there for AFS, for financial statements and assets, is that their main objective currently now is to ensure that those that are currently presently there are capacitated to be able to handle the workload around assets and also around annual financial statements. Our understanding is that during their last period, it's that they must do monitoring and we must do the implementation of the assets, and including also us compiling the AFS, and then the responsibility during the last period should be just to monitor if we are able to do this in the best possible way. But Chairperson, some of us have indeed experienced that. We have been, we are constantly being trained around that particular part. So those are around the consultant, Chairperson. Thank you.
So, yeah, are you satisfied that you have responded to all the issues?
We have, I think, a variety of official, including politicians here. Mine was more or less to respond on issues that reflect on the finance relates to consultants and irregular expenditure. I think that if we please here to respond on the matter that we raised around political instability or political issues, I think he is here to respond on those one, particularly the one that relates to the suspension of certain officials. He is here to respond on those particular ones.
Thank you. Then we will ask the politicians to respond now.
Good day. My name is Honorable Eric Makoko. Can I respond on the explanation of the suspension of the CFO and the technical manager? I'm of the view that Honorable Sylvia Lucas is fully aware about that 2018 September in Partly was a huge, massive protest, violent one. And it led to the suspension of the CFO and the technical manager. And actually, the bone of the content, the reason of the protest was electricity. We failed to maintain and to service our account with ESCOM. And then the community demanded that they must be moved out of the municipality to ESCOM. And then based on that, honorable members of the NCOP has led to those violent protests. And then the MEC, in consultation with the Premier by then Sylvia Lucas, instructed the mayor to call a special council meeting. And in that special council meeting, and then they instructed us as council that the CFO and the technical manager must put into a special leave. That was per instruction. As regard to 106, it was agreed with them and the community that the COCTA will do that. It cannot be the municipality. So we are still waiting in COCTA. We had several meetings with them regarding that, but the response from them was we must now again respond to that. But originally the community, they give them that responsibility. As you know, most the municipality, us were the ones that were accused. So we are still waiting on COCTA and the former premier for the directive, but in consultation, of course, with COCTA. as regard to political instability, since 2018 to date, there is nothing like that, leader. There is a good relationship, politically and administration. We disagree to agree robustly. As we know, we can't agree to everything as different political party, but there is a political stability, 100%. You can make your own research, you can come and assess, there is a stability. And there is a relationship, and a good one, between administration and politics. Is that the depth of the past is our inheritance. Those debts of ESCOM and Falahas and Citibank is now a burden to us. It's inherited. We have inherited. So it becomes, and it's a traditional debt. So we are working on it, and it's not easy. I think there is a need for complement of government structure to national and province and in this level of the municipality, and on how best can we resolve this traditional debt. Thank you.
Chief, we will wait very long for Premier Sylvia Lucas because there is no more something like that. Those that come after, they will have inherited also as you have inherited. But now what we want to know is with regards to the process of those that are on special leave, will we be able to get a indication as to the process?
Good afternoon.
Honorable Mayor.
Honorable Chair, I just want to raise the issue of the MM in brief. If someone feels to resign and look for another job, there is nothing that we as the municipality can do, because we have tried to persuade the MM. So he feels that he will resign. So on the issue of petition, Honorable Sylvia Lucas, you were the former premier by then. You know the issue of CFO and technical manager. The petition was sent to you as the provincial government and the MEC. So the community, the Battle West Residents Association, they didn't trust us as the municipality. That is why they said, you must investigate. So we are still awaiting for the feedback so that we can see how can we bring them back, or should we bring them back, or what should we do? And now really, because we are losing money paying people living at home, and we are losing those money. Thank you very much, Chairperson of NCOP. I was just trying to say something, although I'm sick. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Advocate or Mr. Siane or the MEC of Koksta, any one of you that are here, I'm sure this is clear that at that stage, even after the stability, the municipality didn't take this on of the two senior officials on special leave. So I think it needs the attention of Koksta. It's clear there is, we will discuss it tomorrow, but for now it's very clear what is the issue. The municipality feel that even today, that they cannot respond to this thing. But is there any other issue, Honorable Mayor, Honorable Chief Whip, or MM, that you feel that, or the members, that is still outstanding? Can we? It doesn't seem like that.
None, Chair.
Salga,
No,
do you want to say?
we are happy. We are happy.
Chairperson, I'm not happy. I will want to talk.
Honorable Makause, is there anything that you will want to raise? You may raise it.
Chairperson, this issue that every time when we come to the Northern Cape, when municipalities have to present before us and give us answers, they will all the time point the finger at you that you know. You are no longer in the Northern Cape, you are in the NCOP. Now, the issue that I'm bringing to the table is that Municipalities, when they have to present, I'm speaking particularly to the Khatlong, when we need answers, they must not point finger at you. We want to know about that issue of the CFO. Are they still on full pay? And if there are any consequences relating to that, recovery of your money after their cases, or what is going to happen? Because you did not give anything tangible to say this is why these people were placed on a special leave by council. That petition is not really enough to tell us exactly what did they do to be placed on special leave. Thank you, Chairperson.
Yes, Honorable Christians.
Thank you, Chairperson. I didn't get an answer on a time frame for the sewage infrastructure that's collapsing within the town of Berkeley West. I just want to know, are they working on it? When will it be done? And then also, I didn't get an answer on the beneficiary list of 220 households in buffer zone. I would like to know who those homes were allocated to. Thank you, Chairperson.
Can I underscore this? I want to, Honorable Makause, tomorrow we will have a debriefing meeting where Coxta will be present. So I think the issue of the CFO as well as the technical manager, we will want Coxta. We are now requesting that Coxta must give us a full briefing, because the problem is that people rationalize, and we don't have to, we will not go up and down with them. With regards to the issues that the Honorable Christians raised, I think they have responded to say that, particularly water and sanitation have responded to say that they are in their plans, particularly in the budget maintenance, they are just waiting approval for the issues around the sanitation. And so, but on the beneficiary list, I request to Ms. Tinyanya to do it for us in writing, so that we can, if we go back to that community, we can go back with a written response and not something that is thumbs up at the current moment. I'm just requesting, because I'm afraid we might get responses that will not satisfy, and then we will have to ask over and over again, and I don't want that. I'm getting that feeling, and I think let us discuss it. Thank you. So let me now give to Salga, so that they can make an input if there is an input from the side of Salga, and then we will go to the MEC if he's present here. If not, we will have our meeting tomorrow. We will then in our summary and our debriefing, we will discuss the issues that we feel that we want to discuss with the provincial government after our findings. So we will just now give Salga.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Chairperson, we appreciate everyone's input. I think we are on the right track. It is always in the interest of Salga Chair to see our members being afforded, our members, terms of municipalities being afforded the opportunity to be adequately supported by the provincial government, in ensuring that they are able to execute adequately supported by the, in ensuring that they are able to execute their constitutional obligations and that the objectives of local government as set out in the constitution are adhered to. The municipality participated in our grids, and you just highlighted, in which we provided training to the financial officials in the province, of which the municipality was part and parcel of. We supported the provincial treasury in sessions with the municipality, where they monitored the implementation of the financial recovery plan. Also, maybe to note is that one SMME alien tech from the Katlong will benefit from the Salga UNDP relief funding to manufacture face masks as part of support to SMEs to mitigate against the negative effects of the COVID-19. Chairperson, one also wants to highlight the fact that Salga is always prepared to assist, and as we are assisting Decathlon in the issue of reducing dependency on consultants, which is also a serious issue, as you are busy with the town planning, also assisting there. SALGA Northern Cape is continuously committed to support municipalities in ensuring better provision of quality and sustainable services. And we want to commend, even under the challenges, the fact that they are ensuring service delivery to our people. I think I'll hold it there, Chairperson. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Warren. Honorable members, I see it's 5+1, and we actually anticipated that we will be finalizing this more or less at this time. I don't know, Honorable Bartlett, is there anything that you want to say?
Not really, Chair. Just to say thank you very much. We are waiting for tomorrow.
So tomorrow, Honorable Ask, can we have the logistical arrangement? Just a time and fix it. Things almost sorry, man. Okay, you will never title. Maar aan die hof sê hulle must go honorable. Is it very
Your Honor, yes. Chairperson, yes. We're going to start at 10 as per the program that was agreed on. But the collective may decide to rather start earlier by 9.
9 would work for us.
9 would work. Okay.
9 won't work for us because we will try 9 o'clock to go into our political classes and 10 o'clock come back to this, to our polit classes. Parliament have got polit Friday and Saturday.
Okay. Is there then a proposal, the Chairperson?
No, no, 10 o'clock will work because we are going to the debriefing. And yes, let's leave the arrangement 10 to 1.
Yes, ma'am.
So that will be it then. Thank you, Mr. Haas, and thank you to everyone that was present in this meeting. We appreciate particularly the Auditor General's, the managers from the Auditor General's office. Thank you for the sober inputs that you have really made. And also, we wish the 2 municipalities well, but we also, like I said, we will discuss our issues tomorrow. Also to water and sanitation, you will be with us tomorrow, but thank you also for the fact that you've been consistently with us in the program as well as SALGA. We appreciate that, that you have been consistently also with us in terms of your responsibility as the representative of organized local government, and particularly to the members of the NCOP. Thank you for today. Let's, God willing, see each other tomorrow on the very same platform. Thank you, and the meeting stands adjourned.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you,
Chair.
Welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. Go on. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Who is
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Thank you so much.
Thank you, comrades, also, and the Chief Whip and Honorable Mayor.
Thank you, Honorable.
There is no Premier Lucas anymore. There is no Premier Lucas anymore. I'm Deputy Chairperson of the NCOP. If you can see it again. Okay. Bye.
Bye. About team love.